Hello, Arpita.
Hi, Rena.
When we met first, you and I were in college, and you were studying astrophysics, which was then, as probably is now, quite an unusual thing to study. What made you choose astrophysics? Why did you do something so extraordinarily difficult and interesting?
Because I was always fascinated by the stars, I guess, and the universe and what happens up there. And yeah, at that age, I just found it really fascinating. And I think there was also this part of me where, um, like in that day and age, it was kind of like you need to do science and you need to do law or accounting or something like that. And I was like, well, I don't really want to be a doctor, don't want to be a pharmacist. So I was just thinking, like, if it's got to be in science, what do I like and what do I find fascinating? And yeah, yeah, I just found astrophysics really fascinating and the stars. And I think I also like watched too many movies back then. So, when you see like lots of people going to space and space movies, and I just got really inspired by that. And I thought, yeah, I want to go work for NASA one day. So that's how that dream happened when I was like 17 years old.
How long did you study astrophysics and science?
So the degree was only 3 years. And then after that, I actually switched to radiotherapy physics. And then yeah, then I did a master's, and then I was working in the hospital as a radiotherapy physicist. Um, yeah, because I just found it a little bit more grounding and like somewhere where I could use physics to help people right now here.
So what made you jack it all in? Because when we interviewed you last for iGlobal, you had decided to pursue your passion of becoming a makeup artist. So what gave you the bravery to just jack it all in, start again, retrain? Where did you find the strength to do that? Or why did you do it?
At the time, I was like 27, 28 years old, and there was this like voice inside which was like, oh my God, I got to start again. And but that there was also this feeling where I was like, well, something's missing here. Like, even though I loved what I did, and I felt like it served a purpose, like it was helping people with cancer. I just felt like there was something missing in me, like I wasn't being able to use my creativity. And I mean, you can tell something was missing because I used to be there like making my presentations look pretty and no one was noticing. And I was like, oh, I'm in the wrong job here because I just spent so much time like, wanting to like make it creative and um yeah, and I also felt like I used to come to work every day and just be in front of a computer. And I just felt like I needed to be out in the world and be around people and talk to people. And I just felt a bit like isolated in a hospital. And so I thought, well, I know that I've studied all these years, but if I'm only 28 really, and if I keep thinking this, then I'm going to be stuck here. And I just had this feeling that I just needed to take that step. So,
Was
yeah,
it easy to transition? Was it easy to make that decision? Because even though now we look back, you were younger, it really was a massive gamble, wasn't it?
yeah, I guess it was, but I guess at the time it was, but I just had a lot of fire in my belly at that time. And I just knew, like I spent actually 6 months really thinking about it because I looked back at my life and I was like, there was so many periods of my life where I was jumping from one career to the other career and like, oh, shall I do this or shall I do that? And I thought, you know what, I can't keep doing this. I just need to decide. And so yeah, I just spent 6 months um really thinking about this, and I just asked myself a few important questions like, okay, what is it that I really want in a job, and what do I need? And it was just, and I made a list of all these things like, okay, I know that I need to see results straight away. I know it has to be creative. I look back at my life when I was like a child, and I thought what came to me naturally, because I thought that's really important, and I really wanted a job where I felt like I was in the flow, like it didn't take effort to do, like it felt it was part of me. And so I asked quite all these questions like what does it need, and then from that, I don't know, just the makeup and hair just kind of fit when one day the voice came and it was like, oh yeah, hair and makeup. And then I looked at that list and I was like, yeah, that kind of fits it fits all the values that I want out of a career. And I wanted something where I was working with people and um that like I knew that it would there's like so much opportunity, and I knew that I get bored easily, but it can go in so many directions, and it also was challenging because I need a challenge, otherwise I get bored, and I knew that business was a challenge. And so once I made that decision, I was like, right, that's it. I'm going to put everything into it. And yeah, I was just ready at the time to like use all that fire and just like go with
And
it.
with all that fire, with what was a really challenging and new industry, what did you learn? And what did you learn from your brides? Because you're such an integral part of a person's life to be there, and you're meeting people who are about to start a whole new chapter of their lives with such excitement and energy. What did you learn from that whole chapter of your time being Arpita Mua,
Oh
makeup artist?
my God, I learned so much actually. I mean, at the beginning of the journey, I always thought of my brides as my teachers. And that was like such a that actually helped my growth a lot. Because they're the ones who tell you like, like they give you a lot of feedback on, like their what they like in terms of hair and makeup. And so they kind of gave me that feedback, but I also um they actually taught me a lot about love actually as well. Because
So
yeah, I like just talking to them and just seeing their relationship with like the husband and them, and yeah, I just saw so many different avenues of them, and it was also such a good learning about just the empowerment part of it. Like you're actually making a woman feel good, and just by like putting some makeup on her, like you see her shift from um like one kind of personality, if you like, to like someone who feels like she's beautiful, like more beautiful just with some makeup. So it was like very empowering as well to see someone feel really good about themselves. Yeah.
about love.
Sorry?
Well, you said they taught you about love. What did they teach you?
And perfection. Yeah, they just taught me like I think as a when I was younger, I felt like because I'm such a perfectionist, and so I always felt like you needed to be a certain way to earn love, I guess, or um, yeah, and they kind of taught me like just watching them and the relationships with their husband. Um, for me, it was like very healing because it was actually like just watching different relationships and different people and different couples come together. um it just showed me like it just gave me like such a spectrum of what love actually is, and it's not this thing where you need to be a certain way or to be perfect. And yeah, so it was very healing actually for me to see that.
Find yourself at a new juncture in your journey, your healing journey. What are you up to these days?
So yeah, so I actually decided to leave hair and makeup after
Mhm.
18 years of this journey. And um yeah, and it was like that was actually a bigger transition, to be honest, than the radiotherapy.
Why?
Um the, because this 18 years, like I actually got to a point where especially the last few years, like the business was just flowing and I didn't have to kind of like even advertise it. It was just coming to me, and I was getting to travel and go to all these destination weddings, and they were like such amazing places, and it just felt like whenever I was doing my brides, like everything was it felt so natural and just so in the flow. and and even
How
though
did you change, or why did you
I
change?
know, well, it just felt like, and every time I used to go, I was like, I'm so blessed. I'm so like blessed to have this kind of life. And I know that so many people would want to get to this point. But then I don't know, again, I just had this voice for years telling me that there was something else that I needed to do. And even though on the like I loved what I did, I just felt like very, because I wasn't following this voice, I felt sad about it. And I think so. I just felt like something was telling me that this is my calling, and it was really the fact that with hair and makeup, when I was like transforming people on the outside, I just felt like there was something deeper that I wanted to do, like a deeper transformation, and just help women feel more empowered from the inside, but not just women, just hair and makeup artists and like general, just people in general, just to make them feel like they can do anything in life, and just to find their power, especially with women. Yeah, so now I'm on this new journey of just coaching and retreats and healing um and yeah, so in the process of my hair and makeup for years, I have been training and I have been on this own my own journey with that. Um, and it was just making that jump, which was just really difficult because when something's going so well, why would you leave? But now that I have and I'm doing the coaching, like it just feels, I can actually feel the alignment, like this is what I'm supposed
You
to be
spent
doing.
18 years establishing yourself as a makeup artist. You had a great following. You were well respected. You've been called out to parts of the world. And you're saying, and I can understand why it's a different bravery to switch now than when you had switched when you were a radiologist. Are you living the life that you are hoping to teach in your coaching? Are you saying to people that, there are phases of life and you have to be able to hear what those phases are inside? Are you living what you're trying to teach others to do, which is
Yeah,
evolve and
yes,
adapt?
I think it is. That's exactly what it is. It's involvement because even though on the outside it might seem like it's like separate things, actually, when I look at it, they're not separate at all. It's just a deepening of what I was doing, and it just looks like it's a complete different step. But for example, like now in my coaching, I'm still helping people transform, but it's on a deeper level. And I also feel like, like if I needed to go through the hair and makeup journey and I need to go through the radiotherapy journey to get to this point. And so it's not that I should have done this to start off with, because I needed to experience all of that to get to this point. And so I do believe that people have like soul contracts even with their like jobs or whatever they're doing. And at some point it expires and you can feel it inside, like something's not quite aligning anymore. But society teaches us that, we must stay here. But actually, like if you just jump, then I don't know, like something feels like, for me, that's how I felt like.
You're saying what we have these phases of evolution, um, but unfortunately, lots of people they don't have the means, the flexibility to follow that voice or that feeling that you're saying. Does it have to be all or nothing? Is there a way that if you have to stay doing what you're doing, can you make small or different changes to fulfill that soul contract? Maybe not fully, but partially, or in a way that brings peace to your soul.
Yeah, I think everyone's got a different journey for sure. So, and there's different ways of transitioning as well. Like it didn't have to be like how I did it, like I just jumped. But that's just because that's how I work.
Yeah.
But people can do things where it's like together. And also one doesn't have to mean that you like your sole purpose doesn't always have to be something where you make money out of it as well. It can be just something like being a mum is a sole purpose as well. And you can go to work, but you're fulfilling your, this other deeper fulfillment through being a mum, or like volunteering work, or it could be so many different things for different people. But yeah, it's just going
It
in
is
with
you
the
need what you're trying to advocate or what you're trying to help people do is to find that strength to listen to that voice and then pursue it.
yeah.
Do you think that that comes with the time that we do something? 5 years of radiology, 10 years of radiology, 18 years of. Do you think that things naturally come to an end, or do you think that there is something about the age that we are maybe finding ourselves at, or do you think it's an age-related journey?
I think it's different for everyone. Like some people like that one thing is what they were supposed to be doing all that time, but evolving within the same job. But for some people, it could be evolving, but in different jobs. So it all depends on what that voice is saying inside, I guess. But it's like when something's off, when you're starting to feel discontent, and it's really about that. It's about listening. Like, why are you discontent right now? And like, I think that's when you know that you've gone off path a little bit. It's like bringing you back to
How
feeling
did
that
you find that path? I know you've been going on retreats, and you say that when people think you go on these retreats, it's all very
peace.
meditative and there's a lot of
Yeah.
yoga and peaceful walks, but actually there is a lot of suppressed emotions being released. It's rage, it's anger, it's shame, it's guilt, and there's a lot of sadness. Um, you say retreats are not about escaping, but about returning to who you are. Has the retreats been a part of your learning journey, or is that what you would encourage other people to do, or are you helping people to retreat for themselves?
Yeah, I think that's what the coaching stuff that I am now doing, and also wanting to do for like in the future, is do my own retreats. And it's because I really feel that the stuff that I had done actually helped me with with my own journey. And yeah, it's just about I think a lot of people think like when you go on retreats, it's very spiritual and it's like connecting you to like, meditation or yoga. But actually there's a lot of retreats, which is it's not just about the spiritual body, but it's about the emotional body as well, and the mental body,
You
and the
learned going
physical.
on them. Have you found
Sorry?
what have you learned? It must be really difficult to confront all those emotions, all those feelings.
Yeah, I mean it is,
It
but
must be
I think
uncomfortable, difficult.
it is very uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable, but actually it's so like it's such a big release as well, because it's been stuck and stored in your body for so long, and we've been taught to not actually sometimes acknowledge our anger or acknowledge like these emotions, but they're really important to be able to feel, because unless you feel it, it won't come out of your body. And so by feeling it and releasing it, then you've got space now, like you've got space to actually even hear what your soul, or like what you actually want. But when they're suppressed with all these other emotions, it's hard to hear like what it is that you want, and what your soul's saying. So
To
that's
unlock all those emotions and you release all that, there must be a period of time to process and heal, and you must need to have some tools to make peace with that. Or is that part of your coaching?
yeah, there's also this thing called integration as, and because it is a bit of it's a journey as well, like to be with all these emotions and feel them. So yeah, that is part of it as
And then
well.
what about the tools to deal with some of that stuff? Because I'm imagining a lot gets unleashed, and in my head, there's just like this mess everywhere of emotions and things to deal with. How do you start to clean it up? How do you start to make sense of it and make peace maybe with what's happened or what you've been suppressing for so long?
Um,
How did
well,
you?
well, you'll be surprised by just releasing a little bit of emotions, how much space you already have. So I know it sounds scary to actually feel them, but actually once they're gone, you'd be like, whew, like there is actually room to breathe. Um, and then it's just about like going deeper and deeper into the layers and just releasing more and using the same tools to release them.
How
And
do you
also,
feel having done it?
yeah, I feel a lot clearer, I guess, about where I'm going in life, what I'm doing. There's also, I think one of the most powerful tools I feel with this is this kind of like journey is doing like inner child work, which is really like, yeah, just doing self-love and being kind and compassionate to yourself when all these emotions do come up. It's like constantly finding ways to comfort yourself and self-regulate, which is also, these are tools which we wasn't actually taught how to do. So when you're taught, like, when these things come up, how do you self-regulate? How can you ask for support as well from other people so that you get what you need when things do come up. Yeah.
People are more comfortable now asking for support or doing what you're saying, revisiting a lot of suppressed feeling and emotion. Do you think that we are now at a place where traditionally perhaps we didn't talk about a lot of things? Do you think that
Yeah.
that's changed and people are more open to it?
Yeah, I definitely think so. And I think it's because mental health is is a lot more open now, and as it's opening up, you can see how many people are actually struggling with it. So yeah, I think they are open to actually this kind of journey and healing and like finding ways to actually manage your own emotions.
What next for you? You're talking about coaching. Are you taking people on a journey yourself or helping people manage what they are feeling?
Yeah, so at the moment I've got like two programs which I've set up. One is called Dharma Coaching, which is helping people find their soul mission and soul purpose, and then also like birthing it into reality, and then just removing all those like limiting beliefs and energetic blocks that they might have, which is stopping them from actually like following that path. And then the other one is it's called Aligned Entrepreneur, and it's really about helping people who are creatives and artists, which is what I have a lot of passion for, to actually bring their visions into life again and just removing all those past
The
like
hardest part of what you're doing, helping people find their soul purpose. Do you find people are really lost and the world just seems big and they go, we don't know where our purpose lies? And how do you help them find what that purpose is?
how do you help? It's with a lot of this thing, it's actually tuning them into their intuition and into the voice, and just giving them direction into like different archetypes, that there are different types of people, and what it could be, and then just asking them the right questions so that they can find the answers from themselves.
In a
Yeah.
world of possibilities, or it sometimes can be quite daunting to pick, to figure out which is the right path. So you do a lot of work with that. What next for you? What is your ambition to do with your coaching business? Or how do you help? How do people find you and
um, so they can find me on Instagram on Life by Arpita. And I also have a website called artipedia.com, where all
all
the
those links
information
will be
is.
in below so people can find you easily. And when they meet you, what do what should they expect? Is it easy, does it, and slow work or
It's at their own pace, really. But there's a lot of like, I think there's a lot of heart stuff and a lot of love, work on the heart actually. So yeah.
people need to be ready to open that heart,
Yeah, I can feel it. Yeah.
mind?
And to, yeah, but it's a beautiful journey. It's a beautiful journey. I think when you really follow your soul's mission and purpose, then and everything falls into place. It's a beautiful place to be.
Do you find, just finally, do you find, what do you find it's done for you going on? I suspect you've been on that journey, but you haven't formalized it or seen it as a journey because you've just been living life. And as I said, you're living what you're preaching, that's evolution and that change and the bravery to open doors that you might not have thought were unlocked to you. How do you just feel lighter? How do you feel about life when you are now not only living that life, but understanding what it means and why it is, or how it can be better?
Um, I feel excited. I feel
You said you
yeah,
feel younger, that you're starting at
yeah,
20s
I feel
again.
yeah, actually I do. I do feel like I've got more energy and I think because for a long time my age was stopping me again. Because I was like, oh, I can't now, I'm old and like when you say these stories as well, like you start to feel like more tired, but I don't know that story has kind of like lifted and I don't know, yeah, I just feel like really excited about what's possible again. And and yeah, I'm just kind of like in this place of exploration and that anything is
This is it.
possible.
Do you think this is your final evolution chapter, or do you think there's more to come?
I'm actually very open to whatever will happen. I know I can't see the future, but yeah, I can feel that there's going to be a lot more expansion, I guess, because I feel like I'm more aligned now.
What it is. Thank you very much, Arpita. It's been fascinating talking to you.
Thank you so much for inviting me.